Hi, welcome and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be recreating this dress. It's really lovely and I want to make it. For this I got 4 yards of crepe fabric, tailoring chalk, a thread, matching thread, scissors and some tapes. Then I'm going to mark 42 inches with my fabric on fold to get the first layer of the dress. The dress is in two layers, so this is like the first part of the dress that carries the front, like the up, and then I'm just going to mark that for 42, and then I'm just going to cut that out. After that, I'm just going to go to the top of the fabric to get my neckline and my armhole as well. So the dress is not going to have sleeves, it's going to have straps. So I'm going to mark out 5 inches, 5 inch for the strap, and then I'm going to mark my bust point, which is 10. So at my bust point, I'm just going to get the armhole, which I marked at 4 inches. So from this point now, I'm just going to mark down to get my neckline. Yes, it's really looking really big, but that's because we're going to gather this and it's just going to come back together and it's deep. That's why we made it to be a little bit deep. I'm not really comfortable with the way the armhole is. I feel like it's going to be deeper than this, but well, so that's why I'm just going in again and again. So I decided to try this dress just to see if at least I'm getting what getting what I want, because the dress is just like a replica of this, but then bigger. So I just traced that to be sure of what I want, and here we are. I'm just going to mark this to be like an A shape, and then I'm also going to cut out my neckline. Yeah, cut that out. We're going to gather this later to make it come back to its normal shape. So this is how it's looking. It's really really big, but well, the bigger the cut, the puffier the dress. So anyways, after getting the front, I folded my fabric back in two again to get the back. So I'm placing the front over to get the back of that. So I'll just place my tape from that 5 inch to mark down to 15 inches, which is like to the waist, to get the back where the back is going to start. It's going to start at 15 inches. That is for the back, the lower back, the waist of the back. If you don't understand what I'm saying, please just look at what I'm doing and you will get the same results. So after marking it to where I wanted it to be, I needed to place the front so I can be able to know that the back is actually falling at that 15. So after that, I'm just going to cut this out. The back is going to carry an elastic, so it doesn't need to be gathered, because the elastic is going to just do the work of the gathering of the back and everything. So this is how the back look. After cutting it out, I will just take it to the sewing machine and just create a casing where the elastic is going to go through at the back. So it's going to gather like that. After doing getting my back and my front, this was the fabric I was left with. I wish I bought more of this fabric, but I got only 4 yards and it wasn't really long as I wanted it to be. So you can go with like 5 yards to get your desired length. So for this ruffle down the dress, I marked 11 inches for this, and then I cut it out in three places from the folded fabric. I'm just going to mark this out. So I'm just going to cut this out. This is how they look. I'm just going to join these together and gather them at the top, and I'm also going to hem down the bottom of this. So this is what I'm left with. I'm just going to use this to create the straps. So this is just me right now joining the three pieces of the ruffle down of the dress, and I'm also going to hem this down. So that's just what I'm doing. After doing this, I'm also going to run two threads from which I'm going to use to drag and create the gathering for the ruffle of the dress. So this is just me hemming the very long piece of the dress. So after that, this is just me right now running the thread that I'm going to use, a very loose stitch that I'm going to use for creating the gathering effect. So after that, this is the thread I run. So I'm just going to pull this. This was for the neckline, so I'm just going to pull this, and this is what I got after pulling it. So when I got to this point, I realized that this my armhole is really, I should just cut it off so it's like all the way down, because I'm going to sew this to the waist, so I don't really need that to be there. So I'm just going to cut that out, and I'm just going to hem it. So this is the strap that I created to pipe the neckline. Find the midpoint of this strap and also the midpoint of the neckline, place them together and sew. So this is me just sewing that side of the dress that is going to serve as the armhole. So I'm just going to sew that from the waist. I'm just going to hem that from the waist up to the neckline. So this is just what I'm doing right here. And when I'm done doing that, then I'm going to go ahead and pipe it. This should be done before the piping of the neckline. So this is it. I've gathered the neckline and I'm sewing the side for the armhole. Then after that, I'm just going to pipe the neckline. So this is how it looks. So from where I stopped at the waist of this, that is where I'm going to place my back and sew. So this is the strap. I'm going to place it not like this, but from the middle of the strap, matching the middle point of the neckline. So I've sewn that together. This is how they look. This is the first stitch. So for the next stitch, I placed it from the inside to the out, like from the wrong side coming to the right side. So now I'm just going to fold this in two and place it on top like this. Then I'm going to stitch it all the way to the end of the strap. So now this is the loose stitch that I run for the ruffle of the dress, and I've also gathered it as well. This is the dress. This is the neckline is done. I've also done the back, and I've also joined the back and the front together. So now what is left to do is to join the ruffle down to the dress. So now I'm just going to place it where the side joining of the dress is. Yeah, and I'm just going to sew that all around the dress. That is what I'm left with to do. So I'm just going to still gather this more. So when you're gathering this, you're going to make sure that the ruffles are equal to the wideness of the dress down. So that's just what I'm checking right now, and I'm just going to keep pulling it. When I'm done and it's equal, then I'm just going to sew that together. So now I'm just going to join the strap down to where the waist is. Yeah, so joining the strap of the dress to where the waist is, and I'm just going to stitch that down. So this is the back. This I've already put the elastic. To get the length of your elastic, you're just going to get your elastic, divide your waist by two, and then you just use that for your elastic. I've also stitched this to get that V shape. I tried doing it on the machine, but it wasn't just stitching well, so I just did it with my needle and thread, and that's all. The dress is done. All is left to do now is to iron it, and this is how the dress looks. This is the dress. I also made like a little strap, like rope for it, so this is how it looks with the rope tied. This is how the dress looked like. It wasn't as long as I wanted it to be, but well, it's really giving what it's supposed to give. I really got the results I wanted. So this is me just feeling the dress. Like this is really lovely. Like you can also tie this rope at the back just like this, and it will give it a whole new look. So if you want to go like to church or school, you can wear this dress with like a turtleneck, or you can layer it with anything that you want. So this was how I wore it to school. This is how it's looking. I am really, really glad I made this dress. Like, this is just so beautiful. Like, when you wear it, you will know what I mean. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and follow for more, and I'll see you in my next one.